or you need more details, or you need help manifesting this. So for those of you who need help in manifesting these offerings, to make these offerings to Devi Parashakti, you can visit the link tiny.cc/Bhava Samadhi. For those of you who are ready to make this payment right now to Devi Parashakti of any of the offerings which we have gone over today, you can visit the link tiny.cc/Devi-offerings. And for those who have made the offering, please do visit the last link, which is tiny.cc/Sankalpa 2021, where you submit your names and your family details for the puja, so that the Yajaman's names can be chanted out in the Sankalpa mantra in the resolution of the puja. So the Yajaman and his family will be blessed with the benefits of offering this puja. Again, if you want more details, help in manifesting any of these offerings, you can visit the link tiny.cc/Bhava Samadhi. If you're ready to make the payment right now, you can visit the link. You can visit the next link, which is tiny.cc/Devi-offerings. And once you have made the payment, please visit the link tiny.cc/Sankalpa 2021, where you can submit your family details for the temple priest, the temple pujacharyas to chant your names in the Sankalpa, so that the Yajaman will be blessed to receive the offerings to Devi Parashakti. Please do take a few minutes and spend some time in either registering or making the online payment for any of these sevas.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
There are some great spiritual sciences unique to Hinduism. Subtle, otherworldly, but definitive sign. Manifest the cosmic beings in Archavatara, deities in Nijavatara, living incarnation is possible. Understand? Priya Pada of Vedas and Agamas elaborately explain the whole science of making the cosmic beings manifest in Archavatara, deities and Nijavatara, living incarnation, both. During the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, literally those cosmic beings manifest through this body. Just like how they manifest in Archavatara, deity, they manifest in Nijavatara, Pratyakshavatara, and give you all the boons you ask, bless you. You see, each God is an independent intelligence to lead you to enlightenment. Each God is a bridge for you to achieve the Shivatva, the ultimate Shiva consciousness. Krishna is the bridge for you to achieve the Krishna consciousness. But Shiva consciousness, Krishna consciousness, all consciousness is one and the same. Ultimate consciousness only. So that energy itself completely expresses.
Just like Radhika, when I see my own sweetness in the mirror, I become eager to taste it. I find that the only way to relish this sweetness is through the constitution of Sri Radhika.
Bhava Samadhi Darshan is a window to the infinite expanse of consciousness, allowing us to glimpse the formless in a way that we can understand. It cleanses the karmas of lifetimes. It awakens our biomemory to the space of Paramashiva, the ultimate consciousness, and creates a deep and lasting transformation in us.
Nityanam everyone. So now we'll be back to the Bhava Samadhi Darshan. So let's get ready to receive Paramashiva, receive Parashakti. In this session, we'll understand the context of Bhava Samadhi Darshan, the details and what is the context that you need to hold upon to have the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, to receive the Darshan of the ultimate. So Bhava Samadhi Darshan is not an event in the space and time. Rather, Darshan happens at the moment when we are lifted out of space and time. During Bhava Samadhi Darshan, our neuron mirror that of the avatar. So now we will watch one video where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, Bhagavan Lingodbhava Paramashivam, enlighten us on the mirror neuron.
I am introducing one of the important sacred secret, a spiritual principle to all of you. Please listen. The keyword, mirror neurons. Let me explain the concept. Then we will recognize many of our understandings with this truth. As I said, recognizing is recognizing. Mirror neurons. Very recently, I was studying a research paper where they beautifully established with various analysis, researchers on a very powerful truth. For example, if somebody is swimming in the ocean, you stand and watch. Whatever brain activity is happening in that person's brain, whatever activity is happening in his brain, in his neurons, please listen. Even if you are watching, the same activities are mirrored in your brain. The same neuron activities are mirrored in your brain. Listen. If you are watching totally, the same effect is mirrored totally in you. If you are absorbed in it, you also know a little swimming. Please listen. If you know a little swimming and you are absorbed in it, you are not swimming, you are just standing. Both brains are in the same frequency, the same effect, and no difference. Listen. If somebody is swimming in the ocean, you are standing and watching. If you don't know swimming, if you are not completely absorbed in it, maybe some 80% is mirroring. If you are absorbed in it and you also know swimming, there is no difference at all. between his brain and your brain. The mirroring effect, I tell you, if you are watching totally absorbed in it, then the same activity is replicated in your brain, meaning the same kind of electric and neurotic impulses are activated in your brain. This defines, this demystifies many mystical phenomena. Please listen. Now you know why just by gazing into my eyes, you are in the space of completion. Why just looking at me, you are in the space of completion. I am swimming in the ocean of consciousness in the space of completion. Even the so-called moments of my screaming, whether I am smiling, telling a joke, or that is why even if you are absorbed in what I am doing, even if you are absorbed in the jokes I am telling you, even if you are absorbed in the actions, like very mundane, me serving food, or ordinary actions, walking, sitting, talking, joking, even in the ordinary actions. See, you will not get 100% absorbed in me if I am just sitting in samadhi. But if I am doing normal activities like you will feel comfortable. Oh, like us. Naturally, you will get absorbed. Even that feeling absorbed will put you in the space of completion. This is the reason why the gold, diamond, silk are all put on the deity. Even if you absorb all that ornaments, even that puts you in the space of completion. Usually you do not have the 100% capacity to listen or be absorbed with the happening called life. But if you start doing both, your whole 100% will be on me. How many of you are getting it? Only listening 100% you will not be able to do. Only absorbing 100% you won't be able to do. But that is why here I am playing multiple games. It is literally like a big circus. By the time you understand the joke and start laughing, I already moved on to some other verbal jugglery or brain candy. So naturally, you are absorbed in total absorption. Actually, total absorption, totally being absorbed happens during energization. Whether you are there or not, it's my job. I just pull you to that space during the energization so you cannot escape. And you have to vibrate the same frequency as me. That is why people don't know ABCD of life. Just after the 21 energy darshan, when they go back, it is totally different. Their life is different. I am introducing one.
The brain neuron mirror, activate and process all the observed movement or information of the avatar just by seeing and without the physical act of imitation.
Our entire body, silently and without movement, recreates what is happening distances far away, experiencing the superconscious energy radiated by the avatar.
The science of Bhava Samadhi Darshan knows no distance, a phenomenon modern science is just discovering and terms as the quantum tunneling.
Our thoughts per second reduce significantly and we relax into the space beyond thoughts, which is a space of thoughtlessness, becoming mentally at ease in coexisting dimensions beyond duality. We and the divine become one, unconditioned by the parameters of time and space.
So it is the probability of the quantum particle like electron with less kinetic energy to cross over the potential energy of the energy barrier. You can see that in the right side, pictorially it has been represented here. So an electron has both wave and particle nature. So it's a dual in nature. So imagine a scenario that when an electron with the less kinetic energy is approaching a hill, which you can see here in this picture. So will the electron be able to cross over the potential energy with the less potential energy over the peak? Understand, to cross it needs a threshold amount of energy. So electron will require the higher kinetic energy to cross over the potential energy of the hill, or it will roll back. However, as a wave, the electron had the ability to pass through by propagating itself through the hill and go to the other side, which you can see in this bottom picture in the quantum mechanics.
That is the science behind quantum tunneling. It is the same science which is imposed on people who witness the Bhava Samadhi Darshan. This is because our neurons are able to mirror the neurons of the divine immediately. Through quantum tunneling, we are able to travel through the divine energy and mirror the exact same neurons.
The science of Bhava Samadhi Darshan, Bhagavan Sri Krishna explains about the Bhava Samadhi Darshan. He says, when Krishna once saw his own extraordinary sweetness reflected in a jeweled wall, he was amazed and said, how unprecedented and astonishing is this deep and indescribable sweetness of mine. When I see it, even I become greedy to enjoy the sweetness. Just like the Radhika, when I see my own sweetness in the mirror, I become eager to taste it, but I cannot. After due consideration, I find that the only way to relish this sweetness is through the constitution of Sri Radhika.
The Bhava Samadhi Darshan is the science of the Nijavatara, manifesting Paramashiva, the conscious, formless expression of the being of Paramashiva through the Divya Sharira, which is the light body, and manifest as the Nijavatara, which is the physical form, for us to experience Paramashiva.
Devi Parashakti expresses through the being of Rajarajeshwari and manifests as Nijavatara, physical form, Devi Meenakshi.
Bhagavan Paramashiva expresses through the being of Subramanya and manifests as the Nijavatara, the physical form of Bhagavan Muruga.
Bhagavan Paramashiva expresses the being of Arunagiri Yogeshwara and manifests as Nijavatara, physical form, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, HDH Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Bhagavan Parandama expresses through the being of Mahavishnu and manifests as the Nijavatara, the physical form of Bhagavan Venkateshwara.
The Archavatara deity reflects the consciousness and manifestation of the superconscious energy, but human beings are not mature enough to receive the higher level experiences from Archavatara directly. And for this, the avatar comes down to bridge the gap and create an experience of the superconscious energy in all of us.
When we have the Bhava Samadhi Darshan of the Nijavatara, manifesting through the various beings and dimensions of Paramashiva, the auspicious components as well as the powerfulness of those domains of Paramashiva are awakened in us.
The dimension of Paramashiva manifesting in the Nijavatara for us to experience the same is Bhava Samadhi Darshan.
Bhava Samadhi Darshan is the direct experience of causeless bliss. During the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, our being becomes alive and celebrates with the energy wave of existence.
Our very muscles learn to imbibe and radiate Paramashiva. Bhava Samadhi Darshan is like a window to the infinite expanse of consciousness, allowing us to glimpse the formless in a way that we can understand.
Even without much effort from our side, our very bio-memory awakens to the space of Paramashiva, which is the ultimate consciousness, during the Bhava Samadhi Darshan.
To have the glimpse of having darshan of an avatar cleanses the karmas of the lifetime and creates a deep and lasting transformation in us.
Gratitude enables the reflection of consciousness on all levels: physical, psychological, and ultimately the conscious level. The darshan meditation is the preparation that helps us fall into that space of gratitude. And it is during that time when we are in that space of gratitude, we can manifest and drop our conscious resolutions, which are the Satya Sankalpas of anything we want or need in our life. Be ready to reflect the consciousness of Paramashiva. That is all you need to manifest the best for your life and the lives of the people around you.
So you need to have the right context to receive the darshan. The right context is your declaration to Paramashiva, that Paramashiva, I know you are the source of everything. You are everything and you are in the embodied form of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasanidanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. You are the source for both. Let me connect with you. Let you reveal yourself to me. Let me be in the Bhava Samadhi of you. So this is the context that you need to hold on to manifest, to have the darshan of Paramashiva.
Now, please take a few minutes to set up for the Please do take a few minutes to set up for the Panchopachara Puja, which is the offering of the 5 sandalwood paste, the flowers, the incense, the lamp, and the food offering. The Panchopachara Puja is an integral part of the Bhava Samadhi Darshan. It is through this Panchopachara Puja our being opens up and becomes receptive to receive the energy of Devi Parashakti. Please take a few minutes and go ahead and prepare the Panchopachara Puja. All of these offerings, all of these items will be very much available within your Guru Puja kit itself. So please do take the time and arrange for the Panchopachara Puja.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham.
Yes. Now it's time. We're going to be moving into the next segment of today's program. Earlier today, in the beginning segments, we learned about the science of power manifestation, as well as seeing the power manifestation demonstration as well, where Balsant from the Nithyananda Rajavidya Gurukul demonstrated the power of reading through the Living Enlightenment book, where devotees, disciples posted page numbers in the YouTube comment section, and Shiv Shankara Maharaj beautifully opened that page and read out paragraphs for us from the Living Enlightenment book. Now, it's time for us, for you to experience the same power of third eye, seeing with the eyes blindfolded, as well as reading the thought currents of another person. We'll be shortly now entering into the power manifestation segment, where you will have the chance to manifest these same powers of the awakened third eye, seeing with the eyes blindfolded, as well as reading the thought currents of another person. Please stay tuned as we enter into this next segment of power manifestation. Thank you, Nithyananda.
Dhanam. His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukhanam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadushnam Tattvamasya Lakshmyam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is power manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself explaining what is power manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you, due to your chemicals and hormones ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you, out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. So I've added the ultimate powerfulness, Turiyatita, in your whole being and doing. Manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift. Playing with life. Playing with being alive. Static matter, dynamic activity, strategic existence, all these three has no boundary. You are one with it. You are alive in everything. Everything decides as you want. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, raising your frequency, not work.
Let's understand science of power manifestation. Science of power manifestation is authentic, time-tested, scientific, and foolproof. It is science because it is repeatable, and each one of us can experience it. So it's called a science, and science is come by the evidences from the scriptures. Shastra Pramana. Pramana means evidences. The eternal unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Vedas and the Agamas. The Apta Pramana. Aptas are the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nainamas, Alvars, Siddhas. All of them have manifested the powers of Paramashiva, which is authentic, time-tested, scientific, and foolproof. Atma Pramana. Account of His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, this millennium's avatar's personal experience of power manifestation. Bhagavan's very own Leela mapping to Apta Pramana and as per the Shastra Pramana. Manifesting all the powers. Shakshi Pramana. Experience of the devotees, disciples, followers all around the world manifesting the powers of Paramashiva. Beautifully, Bhagavan has given us all the pramanas to understand that each one of us can manifest the power manifestation of Paramashiva. The Pratyaksha Pramana. The Pratyaksha Pramana is a scientific study measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state. Again and again, Bhagavan gives us all the evidences to showcase that each one of us can experience the superconscious breakthrough as human being to superconscious being. Let's go to the Shastra Pramana. Shastra Pramana are the eternal unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Vedas and Agamas. This is from Shiva Samhita 5.7678. This is for the power of Mahima increasing Ashtama Siddhi.
वादिगुणप्रदा वायुस्सन्नचरते देहे रसवृद्धिर्भवेद्ध्रुवम् आकाशपनकजगल्तीयूसमपि बध्नते मरणं खाद्यते तेन सकेनापि न खाद्यते तस्य स्यात् परमा सिद्धिर् अनिमादिगुणप्रदा वायुः सनचरते देहे रसवृद्धिर्भवेत् ध्रुवम् आकाशपनकजगलप्तीयूषमपि वर्धते.
Bhagavan Paramashiva says so beautifully in this sutra, death is eaten by him, he is eaten by none. He manifests the powers of Ashtama Siddhi, Mahima, Lahima, Garima, all the Ashtama Siddhis. The Vayu, the wind energy, moves equally throughout his body. The juice of his body also increases. Rasa Vriddhi, the nectar excluding from the eternal lotus, also increases in him. Bhagavan beautifully says how death is eaten by him. When we are born, our clock starts ticking, and simply we are experiencing the same cycle. We fall into boredom, tiredness, disease, and death. And again we born, and again we go through the same cycle. Bhagavan beautifully says all that we experience is only the constant delusion. When you engage yourself in only delusion, the problem starts. Then we get bored of ourselves. But we are not bored of our sleeping state. Every day we sleep 8 hours. If we are asked to work for 8 hours, we'll be so tired. But if we are asked to sleep 8 hours, we are so happy. Nobody is unhappy if they see the alarm clock ringing at 2 o'clock and they know that they have few more hours to sleep, even if they have slept. The beautiful space of Paramashiva that we reside in unconsciously every day itself is so sweet. If we consciously get into that space, how beautiful it would be. Bhagavan beautifully says the thoughts per second drops to zero. Only consciously you go into it. Even unconsciously going into deep sleep. It's not thoughts are zero, but it is more of a blank state where you don't experience anything. You know you exist, that's all. But something beyond exist, that blank state, exists as the complete bliss, auspiciousness. We can experience all these by manifesting all these powers. Each of the power manifests through us, removing some block and manifesting as a auspiciousness. Ashtama Siddhi literally clears all the abundant patterns where we are stuck. Like for example, Bhagavan says, we are stuck with any incompletion or enmity or loan. Even as little we keep it, it'll burn the whole thing. Like fire, even if you have one small fire burning in some corner, it'll burn the whole house down. Same way, how the fire does, the loan does, the enmity does, and the incompletion. The incompletion that we hold is the reason why we are not able to manifest all the abundance, not just the currency, but all the abundance, the wealth, the people, the resources, the whatever we want as our reality gets blocked. And that wealth, Bhagavan calls it, same way how the fire does, the loan does, the enmity does, and the incompletion. The incompletion that we hold is the reason why we are not able to manifest all the abundance, not just the currency, but all the abundance, the wealth, the people, the resources, the whatever we want as our reality gets blocked. And that wealth, Bhagavan calls it 16th wealth, that is being manifested for each one of us in our reality. Because of these incompletion and doing all these power manifestation, each power clears one of the aspects of our dimension and makes us manifest all the auspiciousness. Here he beautifully says, death is eaten by him, he is eaten by none. So beautifully, Bhagavan beautifully says how Arjuna never slept. He was Kutakesha. Jnana Sambandar, once he had the milk from Devi, he was always a Nirahara. He never opened his mouth for any other except sing the praise of Shiva. The space they all lived in was higher states of consciousness, which is possible. Again and again, we are reminded about that. Even Lakshmana never slept for 14 years. He was a Kutakesha. All these references again and again tell us that me and you can manifest all the powers of Paramashiva. That is the most beautiful space. And manifesting, what happens? We do not have this death and birth cycle. We become the superconsciousness where we exist forever, and we realize that we exist forever as enlightened beings, Jiva Muktis. And that is possible for each one of us when we start understanding there is something more than the mind and the body. Will it solve my problems in my house, in my job? Much more it can do. Janaka was an emperor. Krishna was an emperor. And he was the greatest happening. Parasurama and Rama, all of them were enlightened beings as emperors. Pandya kings, so many of the kings were all enlightened beings, ruling the world, ruling the kingdoms as an emperor, not just an ordinary king. They were existing, not just doing the job, but much beyond. Sukha Brahma asked Janaka, how did you run a kingdom when you're an enlightened master? He says, how you do a begging bowl on the street, just the same way. Anything as our very own being to manifest, we can manifest untouched by what we need to do and what we are. If we understand the higher reality, how we have to exist, we'll exist as an emperor, manifesting all the powers of Paramashiva in the deep gratitude and oneness with Paramashiva. That is what he says, death is eaten by him, he is eaten by none. Let's go to the Apta Pramana. Apta Pramana are the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nanamas, Alvars, Siddhas. All of them have manifested all the powers of Paramashiva. This is a Vindhya mountain. Vindhya mountain started growing so tall and it was blocking Surya on the way, and Surya was not able to function. So Surya takes the help of Agastya, and Agastya Maharishi comes and tells Vindhya not to grow any further so that when he comes back, till he comes back. And Agastya never came back. But with simple integrity and simple obedience, the Vindhya mountain just stayed the same way for listening to the master. It's so beautiful that Sabari, one who was waiting for Rama, and how did that happen? She waited and waited till Rama came to the Madangi ashram and received all the prasada all the nevedyam that she offered and gave her the prasada. How did it happen? Madangi Rishi was a great Rishi where he blessed Sabari as a small girl. When she was a small girl, he blessed her that Rama will come and bless her, and then she'll get liberated. And then the master leaves her when she was very, very young, and she takes care of the ashram, Madangi ashram, and the message was told to her when Rama was not even born. That was the greatest surprise. Rama was not even born, and every single day, as a young woman, to the old lady, she was just going and seeing whether Rama is coming with Lakshmana, Hanuman, and Sita. All of them are coming. Sorry, Lakshmana and Sita, no Hanuman. So every day she waited and waited. Literally, the whole village made fun of her. That even the grandfather used to tell that Rama will come, but nobody comes. And every day she packs the whole thing and goes back. But one day Rama did come and take her Nevedyam, and she offered not just with her hands, but eating it half and giving the sweet ones to Rama to that extent. And Rama accepted that completely in such a joy. And after treating the Rama, and she was so happy that whatever her guru was saying and how her guru lived those few years with her, all that she told Rama. She was not praising Rama, but was telling about the guru to Rama, and then she was completely liberated, and Rama just witnessed her liberation. The whole science is simple integrity, simple obedience to the guru. How these people had such a space that they could move, whether it is Agastya or Vindhya mountain or Sabari. They had such a simple integrity and simple obedience to the guru that they manifested huge powers of Paramashiva. Let's hear from Bhagavan how he says about the Kalpatru darshans, how each one of us are a Kalpatru who can manifest our reality.
Building like St. Louis or Los Angeles or Bidadi, wherever, the presence that functions, that presence that radiates, the presence that lives through. Understand? The presence you carry is Kalpataru. The presence you create in you, the space you create in you is Kalpataru. Sometimes I wonder, and I just look around. The banks of Ganga and banks of Kaveri and banks of New York River. Sometimes I wonder, in the banks of Ganga, banks of Yamuna, Kaveri, Narmada, and the foothills of Arunachala, Himalayas, everywhere, in so many places. So many places all over the world. How the same science is so useful to every human being from every background. Whether it's a Western teenage boy having a problem with his girlfriend in New Zealand, or an American teenage girl having problem with a smoking pot addiction in California, or village youth addicted to country arak in Aminji or middle-aged man addicted to violence and aggression in the remote corners of Madurai. Anybody having any problem anywhere in the world, how can this one science be a solution? Because it is solving. I am seeing. For example, today, the Kalpatara Darshan for the people in the Pattanam Ashram, one of the remote villages in Tamil Nadu, and the woman Sivagangai in the Middle East. Woman and Pattanam. People from completely different background. But both of them are going to do the same process. And the process works both for both of them. Works for both the group. Few days before we had a Kalpataru for a group in Singapore and group in Mexico. And for both the team, every participant in both the group feels precisely it is for them and it is working for them. How is it possible? Sometimes I wonder. How is it possible? Understand, sometimes I wonder how the same science is working for a person who has a problem in Guadalupe to Kanchipuram, Phoenix to Piranmalai. Whether you are a tired, retired, old lady, almost waiting to die or about to die, or a young, energetic, excited man who is waiting to enter into life, you carry that consciousness. You are embodiment of that consciousness. You carry that.
Such a beautiful space that Bhagavan is explaining how each one of us carry the consciousness and we can manifest our reality, holding that as our primary, how we need to function. instead of only feeling that we are body and the mind. Even that Bhagavan says only 5% we are focused on the body and 5% on the mind. Even that we are not very stable. We are having random thoughts and random behaviors. And if we understand there is something more than that which we can experience as Paramashiva, that is who we are. Again and again, aligning to the higher reality, we'll start experiencing the oneness with Paramashiva. Let's go to the, before we go to the starting the guidelines, I would like to show the Shakshi Pramana, how they manifested the power of increasing the height of an object. This is beautifully the increasing of the object, how they place the object on a sheet of paper, and they have clearly shown how it has increased. This is the Shakshi Pramana from a devotee, showcasing that how the object, this is a small object, that has increased the height and the width of the object, that you can see in 2 colors she has marked, and she has measured the object. Now also we would like to show you the how these Rudras, the Balasans, have manifested the power of increasing the weight, carrying the weight 3 times their weight, which is usually done only after completely them going through the training. And here this Rudra, he just through his third eye, without any experience, his weight is 54. They measured on the scale here, and now he's going to carry 3 times his weight.
I haven't lifted in over 3 years, so I'll let him take this.
So that's great. Srinivasa Maharaj, you can come up in the front. You can see Srinivasa Maharaj is getting into the position. As you can see, Srinivasa Maharaj has lifted.
I don't mean to be a stickler for form and all this, but when it comes to training, form is everything. You're going to get much more power if you have like exact form. And I can say his form was not correct, but it didn't matter. That's what's shocking, is that you were able to somehow muster the strength without having the correct base.
And Srinivasa Maharaj is just 54 kgs, and he has lifted over 115 kgs just like that without any effort.
That was just possible, just in the power of oneness with Paramashiva. All this is possible for all of us, is what Bhagavan repeatedly says. When you understand you are Paramashiva, who is manifesting as your identities, as different things that you are assuming to be. Now let's go to the instruction from Bhagavan to manifest the powers of Paramashiva. You can either measure your height, or you want to increase somebody's height, you can measure that, or an object's height. You can trace the object and keep it and chant and again trace it back to see how it has grown from the original length and breadth. And clearly you can do it twice, so that you don't have any of an inhibition, doubt. Is it possible for me? Is it available for me? These things, everything Bhagavan says, whoever comes to my Kailash courtyard, I will manifest through them. The temple does not say, oh, this is the first time you're visiting, I'll give you only some boons. No, it just showers. If you go to the temple or any of the samadhi's place where it is, the whole space is radiating like much powerful than Bhagavan says nuclear power, such a grand space is available. Just sitting in that, your thoughts just become zero. You are in oneness space. That is why all the temples and all these great Jiva Samadhi are the ultimate place. And Bhagavan says, I myself is sitting in the Kailash courtyard. Anybody coming here, I will manifest through them. That's given is how the Balasans, he doesn't come to the Gurukul and initiate each kids. Never. He just says, okay, my Gurukul kids, today is the power of materialization. Go ahead and manifest. That's all. And each and every child manifest all the powers. The oneness that you have manifest as reality. That is what Bhagavan says. He is available. He is pouring in us. Parashakti comes in such beautiful forms and just showers the boon. Go to each and every one, meticulously sitting and taking care of each one's personal life and raising yourself much beyond that also, and showering the boons and clearing all your karmas. How a mother meticulously, dedicatedly micromanaging everything and manifesting your life the same way Devi is doing in a global level. It's such a amazing moments to see Devi in that space. Bring that as Shaktipada inside you, nothing else. All your life, your problem, your things to be solved, then you bring the Paramashiva space in you, everything will be solved. Like a old dungeon which is not lit for thousands of years, one lamp, 1 minute is enough to light the whole place up. Same way, bring Paramashiva, that who you are, the original space of you. You're sitting as 25 heads with 75 eyes and 50 hands, just as Parashakti manifesting all the reality. Hold that cognition for a few minutes and see what happens in your life. All the auspiciousness just starts showering. Do not have to check every minute whether it has increased. Just stay in the space of Paramashiva and see what prasada you receive. Do not have to check on Paramashiva. He is much more intelligent. If you know him, how much he knows you. He is the one who is making you understand to know yourself. So let's be in the oneness with Paramashiva. Again and again, be in the space of manifesting only Paramashiva, chanting the Mahavakya in just such a sweet space of how you feel with your mother singing your family song. Just like that, how you feel so connected when you chant the Mahavakya, again and again remembering Devi's smile, Devi's gesture, Devi's laughs, and Devi's smile, all of them, and Devi's looks most importantly. Just be there and chant the Mahavakya. Sit straight for a few minutes and see what Devi is going to show you. Let's start chanting globally. This is such a beautiful space. Let's start chanting the Mahavakya now.
Of our manifestation. Now let's
Paramashivoham. Om
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour. Let the Varni open up. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Jnananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Jnananda Paramashivoham. Om Jnananda Paramashivoham. Om Jnananda Paramashivoham. Om Jnananda Paramashivoham. Om Jnananda Paramashivoham.